Este na KUAM News Update sa presenta ni CHamoru Enterprises.
Off at Guam, here's that's making headlines for Tuesday, June 11th. Concern has been raised that a new proposal by the governor and speaker to expedite payments to war claims survivors could hurt efforts to push through payments for all. But Guadalupe says not only will it not undermine the process, it will speed up long-delayed compensation for many. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The governor says the windfall of not having to pay Medicaid matching funds this fiscal year frees up money in the general fund to pay war claims specifically for survivors. But Congressman Michael Sanicla says using local funds might muddle his efforts to release money that was set aside in a war claims fund that can't be released because of a technical flaw in the enabling legislation by former Congresswoman Madeline Bordallo. But Acting Governor Joshua Tenorio says the governor's plan complements what the delegate is doing.
In my mind, we have several opportunities in the air. We have a congressional opportunity and some federal legislation, and his responsibility is to shepherd that.
Tenorio says while the bill is winding through Congress, there's no reason now why they can't speed claims payments for survivors.
Right now, we have a growing, dwindling number of people, and already 75 years. We need to act now.
Guadalupe is also working with the White House on an administrative remedy to get the claims money released. But we spoke with former Congressman Robert Underwood, who says it's best to make sure the feds understand what they're trying to do and get it in writing.
But it's really important that they have those conversations before the local legislation is passed to make sure that it doesn't complicate it further and that the money actually comes back to the government of Guam.
The money is from taxes paid by federal employees here that are paid back to Gov Guam. In other words, it was due to Guam anyway. Underwood says there was actually a time under his predecessor, Congressman Ben Blas, when Washington agreed to put up separate funds.
There were deals offered to do exactly that. And always at the last minute there was some hesitancy, sometimes on the part of local officials, to go along with it, in which case it blew up the process. And so this goes back, 25, 30 years.
So now, as the 75th anniversary of liberation approaches, the governor and the speaker are rushing to get survivors paid as soon as possible. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
In other news, several new discoveries of Guam's past have been unearthed on the site of the future base of the Marine Corps, also known as the ancient Chamorro village of Magua, as well as the site for the live fire training range complex in Jigo. In notices obtained by KUAM written by Marine Corps Activity Guam, several, quote, inadvertent discoveries were made containing fire features or potential earth ovens, Latte period ceramic scatters, various lithics, and shell artifacts. A notice was sent last week to the State Historic Preservation Office to inform them of their mitigation and data recovery efforts, which include the deployment of a crew of archaeologists to conduct and oversee soil removal, sampling, and excavation. According to the June 6 memos, the search can take anywhere between 2 weeks and 1 month. SHPO Officer Linda Uggan confirms she will be conducting a site visit this week. And Ayla Cimarron was sentenced to life in prison. Cimarron, along with Maluf Sally, was charged for the death of a 42-year-old Manilao man. In February 2017, Gilbert Alvarez was at the Manilao baseball field when he agreed to give Cimarron and Sally a ride home. Instead, the two beat him to death and stole his truck. Sally had entered a plea agreement and sentenced to 15 years in prison. Cimarron, in the meantime, will be eligible for parole in 20 years. Stay connected via KUAM.com or the KUAM mobile news app. Follow us on any of the social media platforms and download our podcasts on the KUAM Podcast Network. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonagan Charfres.
Este na KUAM News Update sa presenta ni CHamoru Enterprises.